What's up, Techno fam? Chana D, your Techno Dad here with a quick video for you today. We are going to be setting up eARC on the Denon X3700H. And before we begin, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to my patrons on Patreon. You guys help make all these videos possible. I know I got a few more after I uploaded the best Dolby Atmos demos from the 2016 and 2018 Dolby Atmos demo discs. So if you're looking for those, make sure you become a patron at the $5 level today. Link is down in the description. All right, so I'll be using the TCL R635 in today's demonstration, and the instructions are going to be different per TV manufacturer. And since I've already made plenty of videos on these other TVs like the Vizio, the Hisense, the LG, the Sony, I'll put links to all of those down in the description. Majority of the time I'm using a Marantz in those other videos, so it's going to be pretty similar on the AVR side. But you will need different instructions per TV manufacturer. So make sure if you don't have a TCL and you want to get this up and running with your X3700H, check the description box for the other video links. So first things first, we need to connect the HDMI eARC ports together. On the TCL, that's HDMI 4. And on the Denon X3700H, it's the HDMI port with the all-white background, which is in the middle of the three outputs. Now let's jump over to the setup screen on the Denon. From here, we want to scroll down to Video, then select HDMI Setup. And now we scroll down and turn on eARC. And that's pretty much it. So we can exit out of here. And now we need to jump over to the settings in the TCL. So from the home screen, scroll down to Settings on the left. Now select Audio. Now, of course, since we're going to be running off an AVR, we're going to turn off the speakers, the TV speakers, that is. Then scroll down to SPDIF eARC and select Auto Pass-Through. Now, this is important because we want to make sure the audio is being passed through the TV from your external source to the AVR. Like the TV is just kind of like an intermediary, right? It's just in the middle there. It's like the PB and a PB&J. No, totally wrong. Well, that margarita's kicking in after that live stream, I'll tell you that. So once that's done, all we need to do is back out of this and scroll down to System. And now scroll down and select CEC. As you can see on the right, the TCL detects the X3700H as a CEC device. And you can see that eARC is not active. So I'm going to check all the boxes here, but I think you don't need to unless you want to turn on your AVR when you turn on the TV with the TV remote. And of course, use the volume on the TV remote to change the volume on the AVR. So that's why I want to choose all of these. You can or cannot, it's up to you. But make sure you turn on eARC as a very minimum. Now you'll see on the right that eARC is active and so is System Audio Control. Let's go and verify to see if ARC and eARC are working properly. Okay, so first let me tell you about the two ways in which we can deliver Dolby Atmos. The first, which is the lossless, which is what you'll find on a 4K UHD disc. So you take your 4K disc, you plop it in, and the Dolby Atmos you're getting is delivered via Dolby True HD. Now the other form is a compressed form, or what we call lossy in the biz. And that is usually coming from a streaming service like Netflix or Vudu or Amazon Prime, HBO Max, Disney Plus. All that streaming is all done via Dolby Digital Plus, okay? So if we see Dolby Atmos / Dolby Digital Plus, then we know we're getting a lossy signal. And if we see Dolby Atmos / True HD, we know we are getting a lossless signal. Now, what does that mean? It means you're getting a higher quality of Dolby Atmos because the bit rate is just higher because there's no loss in quality, hence the phrase lossless. And lossy or compressed means that it is compressing it just to stream it. And this is how a lot of these companies get away with streaming 4K HDR with Dolby Atmos because everything is compressed. So to get the least compressed or the best quality is to use a 4K disc, and that's just kind of how it is. Now at this time, as far as I know, there are no streaming services that actually send a lossless audio signal. So eARC is really just for having an external device plugged into the TV, and then you send the audio through the TV to your AVR or your soundbar or whatever external sound device. Anyway, that's all on that. Let's continue. All right, so here we are on the TCL. So if we go to the Vudu app and play a movie that's in Atmos like Jumanji: The Next Level, we can see on the Denon AVR app that we are getting Dolby Atmos And if we hit info, we can see it's being delivered via Dolby Digital Plus. Okay, so that works. Now let's go into the Zapiti player, which is plugged into HDMI 1 on the TCL, and let's start up Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. We can see on the Denon app that we are getting Dolby Atmos, and if we hit the info button, we can verify the signal is coming in via True HD, which means we are getting a lossless signal from the Zapiti through the TV and into the X3700H. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. All you got to do is make the adjustments in the AVR, then make your adjustments in the TV, and you're good. You can now send an uncompressed audio signal from an external source through your TV to your AVR. And you're like, well, what do I need to do this for? Perfect example, if you have an Xbox Series X and a compatible TV that can run 4K 120Hz HDR, you would connect the Xbox to the TV, and then you eARC the audio from the TV to your AV receiver, because majority of the AV receivers don't support 4K 120Hz HDR unless you're using a PS5 with one of the new Denon or Marantz, in which case it will work through the AVR. But for the most part, if you have an AVR that's older that has ARC, maybe not eARC, but ARC, you can still send an audio signal from your external device through the TV and into the AV receiver. So either way, it's going to work. It all depends on how you need to connect up your system, and having these options is great because now we're getting to the point where we don't need to upgrade our AV receiver just because the TV can now support 4K 120 or 8K. We can plug those sources into the TV and then eARC over to your AV receiver and keep all your older devices that don't need 4K 120 support or 8K 30 support and keep that plugged into your AV receiver. So yeah, there you go. Now you know how to do it for the Denon X3700H, and that's it. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Me.